Model Making Guru is sponsored by emodels.co.uk. Make something awesome. Hey everyone, it's Foxx from modelmaking.guru here. Hello and welcome to a hopefully quick video, and that normally means it's not quick, explaining for the streamers out there, explaining how the hell to stream using Streamlabs OBS and the new YouTube studio control room thing set up. I say new, it's not new, it's been kind of in beta for the last 2 years. We've all known it's there, most of us haven't touched it. We've been like, oh no, it's far too stupid looking, I don't like that. However, I think it's about to become the only way to do it. The reason I say that, I don't have any inside information, but Streamlabs OBS has just done an update, which in one of the parts is it makes it more sort of compatible with the YouTube control room live streaming studio thing. And that's given me the vibe that this might be about to go from beta to this is the only choice you've got. Now, it might not happen for months. It might happen tomorrow. I don't know. But I spent this morning, chunk of this morning, figuring out how the hell to use the YouTube Studio beta properly to do live streaming. And this is whether you're doing a one-off stream or more likely, if you're like me, you're doing regular streaming content. It took me a while to figure it out, and I had to scratch my head a lot. And there are YouTube resources that are not very easy to find. I'll put a link in the description below the video. But I thought I'd do a quick video to let you see how I figured it out, and it might just save you pulling your hair out. Now, like I said, I don't know when this is going to become the permanent only option, but I'd rather know now how to use it so that when it does default to the new setup, I can just go straight into it, rather than be setting up a live stream and be like, oh, I don't know what the hell I'm doing and I've got 20 minutes till I go live. Yeah, that's not going to be awesome because there are some things you're going to have to do differently. So let's get cracking. So if you're used to streaming, you'll recognize this. This is the old live dashboard that we know and love. And for me, somebody who does regular streams, I do a regular stream every Sunday and occasional other streaming content. It was a doddle. You had one stream key and you would just come in here, you'd set your title, you put your blurb in there, you'd schedule it for whenever you wanted. It would generate the stream in advance. It would tell people 12 hours before, but you can change that the stream was going to go live. And when you pressed go in your streaming software, it would just start streaming and it would stream to the stream key, whatever's down here. This is the streaming setup that we know and love. We could open this, pop out the chat, close this down, press go in our streaming software, and everything would just work. That's going to change a little bit. It's going to be a bit more fiddly to set things up. So this is what we're used to. You can ignore all of this. This is going to go away. So I shall close this down. Booyakasha. Gone. Right. So here's what you want to do. Now, until the new setup does become the absolute default, you can continue to use that streaming page, that live dashboard. I would recommend it, but I would strongly recommend you figure this out as well so that either start using it or at least know how to use it when it goes live. So, going forward, what you would do of a day, let's say I want to set up a live stream. I want to play some Elite Dangerous or whatever, do something later on today. Go to any YouTube page. At the top here, you have your icon. Go to YouTube Studio. Now, at this point, you'll be trying to figure out how to do streaming. And so am I, because there's nothing on here that says how to do streaming. You can kind of ignore all of this. It doesn't really matter. All you need to do is click on the big fat create button up here, or there are some different buttons. There's an upload video, there's a go live, and there's a create post. That's for your community page, if you're lucky enough to have a community page. So you can do either of these. If you click on create, it gives you upload video, beta, which is the new one that doesn't really work very well. If you've tried the new upload video, it's kind of broken. It just doesn't really, it kind of stops after about 5%. I've given up trying to use it. It's still early days for that. But you have the go live. So all you want to do is hit go live. And I'll just get rid of these two tabs here because I don't need those. This is the new go live page. Now you won't necessarily see this straight away. So ignore this. Ignore this for the moment. You won't have this here. You would put in your title. Now, before you all start panicking, hang on, I've got streams from the past. It's a stream I do every week. What am I going to do? We'll come to that later. So we set up a new title. So I'm going to call this one, there we go. I'm going to make it private just for the sake of making it private because I don't want to broadcast this if I have to go live. But I would set it to public. Take your blurb. Now, I would recommend, before you do any of this, whether you have one or whether you have multiple different regular live streams, go through all of them, all the previous ones that you broadcast, and just copy and paste into a text document the title, the tags, and the description, just so you don't have to start from scratch. So if this was blank here, for example, you could then copy and paste the same. If you have the same description every time, you could copy and paste that from your text document. So I do recommend, before you do any of this, just set up a text document and just copy and paste the generic titles, generic descriptions, generic tags, and then you can just copy and paste it later on. So if this was blank, I would now type in my description, but as you can see here, it's already got something defaulted in. If you want to schedule it for later on, if you're not going live right now, of course, you just click on schedule for later, and I can schedule it for, let's say, tomorrow, and we shall do, there we go, 13:45. Now, if you do, make sure you're not scrolled down like that, because if you do this, it disappears off the bottom. And sometimes this will glitch out and it will give you a date and time as well. If it does go a bit funky and you can't set a separate date and time, just come out of here and reload and start again. It won't save it. Make sure your monetization is enabled if it's available. Upload custom thumbnail. This is the new setup. If you start from scratch, you have to do this every time. I will again, though, show you how to copy a previous stream. So upload a custom thumbnail. Let's just go for that one. There we go. And then you've got this. I'm not going to talk about copper. I'm not interested in discussing that. I'm burnt out on that subject. I'm so bored of that subject now. Yeah, no, it's not made for kids. And create stream. There you go. Right. You think, oh, brilliant, that's set up. It's not. You've still got stuff to do. Now, what happens now is you will see down here, it gives you some feed URLs. I may have blanked these out. I don't know if they're important or not. So if they're just all pixelated, it's because I can't show you them. But it will probably give you an auto-generated key. Now, this is what's going to be different from the old setup. On the old setup, you had a stream key, and you will put that into your Streamlabs OBS, and whenever you streamed, it will go to that stream key, and it will be whatever you had set up in the live dashboard would be that stream. It would stream to that. So you couldn't have multiple. Say, I couldn't set up 4 Warhammer Sunday streams in advance because they'd all go live at the same time and it will break the internet. So you had one stream key. This allows you to set multiple different stream keys for different things. Now, when you first go in, you'll see a number of them. You click on the arrow here. What you will see is, by default, they give you a couple for streaming at 720p. So if you're not familiar with setting up a stream key and bit rates and so on, you can just use them. They're just defaults. It's just preset for you. But if you want to stream at 1080, you will need to set up a custom stream key. I don't know what the auto-generated one is. I don't know what an auto-generated key sets as. I know it generates the key, but I don't know what video settings, so I wouldn't recommend that. Go to create new stream key. Call it whatever you want to. Testy, tests. I will call it that. I'll give it a random description. Now, this is the important bit, variable bit rate. It depends on your broadband connection, the hardware in your computer, and what you want to stream as and who's watching your videos. I stream at 1080p, so I would go for between 3000 to 6000 K bit rate. I tend to vary around about, I think I've got OBS set at 5000. Handy tip, you don't really want to set your bit rate above 5000 K. Why do I say that? It will be fine. If you've got a nice bandwidth and you've got a decent computer, you can stream at, 4K or 1440p or whatever you want to do, and you can put the bit rate way up. The problem is, if you're streaming with a bit rate above about 5000K, it's going to be hard for people on mobile devices to watch because they don't necessarily have the bandwidth to download that amount of data that fast. So if you are wanting to stream at 1080p, if you're doing like we are, model making like I do, it doesn't really matter. 1080p is fine. You could do 720p if you want, but that's going to look a bit shonky. But 1080p is fine. If you're doing video game streaming, that's where you're going to want to start streaming at higher bit rates. And people who are going to watch a video game stream in 4K aren't really going to watch on a mobile phone or an old iPad. So don't worry too much about that. But if you're doing non-video game streaming where you don't need high resolution and 1080p is enough, set your bit rate in your software to about 5000, maybe 6000 at the most, but 5000 is about right for mobile devices. Now, maybe that not many people watch on a mobile device, but you don't want to alienate any of your audience. So set your bit rate about 5000 in the software, and in here, I would go for that one, 1080p. Now, again, you can put it for variable if you're not sure. just put it for variable, and then it'll go off whatever your streaming software is sending. I want to make sure that most people can watch my stream, so 1080p, I don't want it to go beyond what mobile devices can see. If you're going to go for 720p, if it's just you looking at the camera and talking, and that's the whole stream, then you don't even need 1080p. If it's going to be your pretty face pointing at the camera and saying blah, 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 you can do that in 720. A lot of gaming streams are also in 720, so if you want to get as many people watching as possible, do it in 720. But if you want some decent quality but not alienate half the people, go for 1080. It's up to you, but you've got the different options here: 360, 480, 720, 1080, 1440, and 4K. Choose what's best for your content. I'm going to go for 1080 because I want people to see what I'm painting and building. And if you want to enable 60 frames per second, you can do. Again, though, keep in mind, some people with older PCs struggle to watch content in 60 frames per second. It sounds stupid. I know it sounds stupid, but it's the case. I don't need to show mine in 60 frames a second because I'm not playing video games. I'm painting a model. I don't need 60 frames a second. So again, unless you're doing video games, you don't need 60 FPS. Create. There we go. So now we have in the drop-down list, you can see here I've generated some other ones, if it stays there, but I've also got the one I've just set up here. So I'm going to change that. And what this means is now, this stream will always have that stream key. So I can now set that stream key in my streaming software, and we'll come back to that in a minute. Other options you may have down here, you've got your normal latencies, normal, low, and ultra low. I set mine to low latency normally because I do stuff in chat. Low latency means it's near real time with as minimal amount of stuttering for the viewer. You can do ultra low if you want absolute real time interaction with your chat and viewers, but some viewers may get stuttering, so I tend to avoid that one for now. You want to make sure DVR is enabled. 360 video, I've got no use for that, but you may do. I did delay, again I've got no use for that, but you may do. Analytics, don't care. Viewer activity, I've got my streaming software tells me all that, but it's there if you want it. Stream health, no data because we're not streaming yet. This is where it gets interesting, we're not streaming yet. Now a new tab here is merchandise. If you have a merch store, I don't know about other merch providers, but I have a Teespring store. So what I can do, all my Teespring merch is here. You can pick and choose a piece of merch to sit at the top of your chat, and all you do is you get a piece of merch, let's say it's that one, and you just drag it across and you click on pin merchandise. Now it may not appear in the chat over here straight away, it might take a while, you might have to reload it a few times, it may just bug out. It's kind of slightly broken, but it should then appear as a pinned object at the top of your chat for your viewers. It's pinned there. It's a good way to promote your merch. Now also we have up here on the top right, you can send embed codes and stuff to other social medias to share it. You can also have a small number of settings. Details, here we have allow embedding. Yes, you want to make sure people can embed your live stream in their website. I do not understand why people don't have this. I want as many people to see my stream as possible. If somebody wants to put my stream in their website, it's free PR for me. Let's have a look. Promotion depends on your content. For tags and other details, visit YouTube Studio. So I will click on that and it will open a new tab, but we'll come back to that in a minute. Monetization, of course, you want to turn that on if you can. And live chat, some basic settings, turn it on. A live chat to replay, this means will the live chat display when somebody comes later on and watches the stream as an archive recording? Always have that on. It's good to have the chat there. Slow mode, I never use that. And to edit moderators and everything else, go to your community settings. Again, a link you can go in, and that's the same as normal. So we'll save that. That's kind of all the settings. So the other thing to look at, you've set it up and you've thought, right, brilliant, where do I put my tags? Because obviously, you know, titles, text and tags, you've got your description, title, where's my tags? So remember we clicked on here and we went to the YouTube Studio. You can get to this a number of different ways. I do recommend, by the way, that you set up shortcuts in your favorites on your browser for things like the live dashboard, that's wrong, YouTube Studio, your video manager, things like that, just so you can get to them quickly. There are always links to find them. Anyway, this is in the video manager and in the specific stream manager. Now, if you're not sure where this is in your video manager in YouTube Studio. Remember, if you go to YouTube Studio up here, oh, it's not up there, never mind, because we're in it, it will bring you here. These are all the videos you've uploaded. These are all the live streams you've created. Now, the ones at the top are live streams that have not yet happened. They're scheduled. Don't ever delete these unless you have to, because it messes things up. This one here, this is the one I've got set up through the live dashboard. but it's got a totally different stream key. It's not going to go anywhere, but I've got that one set up anyway. This is the one I've got set up. This one at the top is the one I've got set up for this Sunday coming. That's Sunday's live stream. And this one here is the one we've just set up. This one here, this is the one we've just set up. It shows up in an upcoming live stream. So if I want to add tags or anything else, I need to come into here. If I click on this, I've got some options. You can view it on YouTube. You can add the title and description. It's just as easy though. If you're coming in to make changes, just click on the title. It'll bring you into this. This is the same as the new YouTube Studio Video Manager. So you can change the title here. You can copy and paste and edit the description here. Or you can do tags. Now, if you're not sure about tags, here's a handy tip. There's no tags on here, remember, because we've just created it. What I would say is, go back to your video manager. If this is a regularly recurring live stream, go back to your video manager. We're on live, remember, up here. Go to an old live stream that you've done before. You'll see all the tags down here. You can now copy them like that. Copy and paste. So come back to your new stream that you've just set up with no tags, and ka-ching, there you go. I like this feature. Now there's also one other thing you can do. Like I said, remember I said set up a text document with your titles and tags. You can also paste them like that, and they sit like this, and then you can paste them back. So have a text document with all your titles and everything else, and include tags. So go and copy some tags from your previous streams of that subject, and then when you create a brand new one, if you need to, you can just paste them in. Now on here, of course, you can set what playlist you want it to go to. Let's set it to a random playlist. Let's just set it to there. That one doesn't matter. You can't set cards or end screen yet because it hasn't gone live. It's not a final video. You'll have to come back and do that afterwards. You can double check your copper nonsense. You can change the thumbnail if you want, but you don't need to. And then you can just save it. So now we have, basically, if I go back to the video manager, a live stream set up here, the FFS one. It's there. It's got titles. It's got tags. It's got a thumbnail. It's ready to roll. It's scheduled in. So now what we need to do is we need to do some other bits and bobs. So we need to go back to the stream manager, and I don't know that's what it's called. I don't know the official names for all of these different pages, and that's one of the problems trying to find how to do this on the interwebs. You don't know what to put in a search window because you don't know what all these different things are called. This is the Creator Studio. I don't know what the live stream bit's called. So yeah, this is why I'm struggling, and this is why I'm making this video. So if you can't get back to the stream, click on Create and go live. Again, it'll bring you back here. Ignore this for the moment. Pretend that's not there. Click on Manage. That will show you all the live streams you've got queued up, ready to go, that are scheduled in. This is the one we did. This is the one I've got for Sunday. This is the one I've just set up. So this is all ready to roll. Everything in there. The next step is now to set up your streaming software. You see here it's saying, current streaming software to start preview. This is again where things are going to change a bit. Whereas before at this point, everything, if this was the old live dashboard, everything will be set up. You could go home, come back the next day, you could come back 3 days from now and just press go on your streaming software and it would just stream. This is where things get a bit different. What you need to do is you need to go into your streaming software. Now this is aimed at people using Streamlabs OBS or SLOBs. If you're using different streaming software, I can't help you specifically with the details, but I'm sure it's going to be the same basic principle. But there are some specifics. So let me hop over to Streamlabs and I'll show you what to do there. Okay, so here we are in Streamlabs, or slobs as people know it. Now this is not going to be a guide how to use slobs for streaming. I'm going to assume you've already got it, you know what you're doing. I'm not teaching you that. I just need to make you aware of some changes in version 0.19.1, which you can see here up in the top left. It's the latest version. It's just dropped for me today, and it's the reason that I've done this video, because it said we made some changes to make it fit better with YouTube Studio, but it didn't explain what they were. And I couldn't really find out what the changes were. I spent a while trying to find it. All these companies that do this stuff and they don't really put their information front and center. It's really frustrating. So that got me looking at YouTube, and that's when I started to realize I need to figure out how to use a new studio. So here we are. So yes, if you're on version 19.1, this is what you'll need to know. Pretty much as far as I can tell, everything works the same for pressing play and go and everything like that. That's all the same. The difference is in your settings. If you go into your settings and you go to stream, you'll have that, and you'll be like, what? What's that then? What was this? Where's my stream settings? If you remember before, you had your ingest server settings and your stream key and things like that. And if you don't know what a stream key is, how are you doing streaming? But if you don't know what a stream key is how you tell the software, your stream software like Slobs, where to send the stream. If you have, like me, 3 or 4 different types of stream, they all have different stream keys. And if I do a Warhammer stream in here, I will use the stream key that sends it to the Warhammer stream that's been set up. If it's a Gunpla stream, I'll use the stream key that sends it to my Gunpla stream. If you've only got one type of stream that you ever do and you never change the stream key, you don't need to worry about this at all. This will just send it to your YouTube channel. This is like my YouTube channel streaming. Thank you very much. There you go. Bang. Just go straight to your YouTube channel. It doesn't care. Whatever's set up, it'll just send it to that. But if you do multiple types of streams or different subject matter streams, you need to check this. So if you're used to having different stream keys, you need to come here. You need to go, what's that? And then you click on Stream to Custom Ingest. And there you see your original setting. Now it does say here, warning, streaming to a custom ingest is advanced functionality. Some features of Streamlabs OBS may stop working as expected. I can't say that won't happen, but this is just the old setting, so I don't know why it would suddenly not work. Anyway, this is where you would come in and you would put in your stream key. Hopefully you know what stream key is. Now, it might be blank at this point because it's kind of reset itself. So if you need to find the stream key on the new setup, and this is where I'm going to pixelate stuff out because I'm not giving you my stream keys. Here we go. So all you need to do is you come back to YouTube Studio. Remember, we're back here. You need to go to the stream that you want to send the content to. These are I tend to pre-schedule my stream, so it's always a good idea. Come in here, and your stream key is there. That's your stream key here. I can't just copy and paste dots, but you can click on the eye symbol and it will show you what, if you need to check that you've got the right stream key, you can click on the eye symbol and it will show you what the stream key is. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to copy it. I'm going to go back into Slobs and I'm going to paste the stream key in there. And then that is done. There you go. Done. That's it. That's all you need to do differently in here. Just, if you're like me, you have multiple stream keys, you need to make sure. So if I suddenly thought, oh, this is for Sunday's Warhammer stream, I'd come back here, I'd go back here, I'd go to the Warhammer stream, I click on my stream key, which I'm not going to show you, and I will come back in here, go to settings, stream, put it in there, delete that, blip, there you go, stream key is now in. Keep in mind, of course, you need to make sure your settings here are the same as they used to be, so streaming services, kind of, you may as well default to that because that's what this is. If you've got your own servers and somehow, then that's where you'd use custom streaming server. But because you're using a pre-existing YouTube one, I've got YouTube Gaming, which is the only YouTube option, and I've got primary YouTube ingest server. That's always the way it was. Just leave those as they are. But this is where you put your stream key. Now, I don't want to send this to my Warhammer Sunday stream, so I'm going to come back to YouTube. I'm going to go back again. I'm clicking up here to go back to the main page. We'll come back in here. Copy that. We'll paste that back in here. Now, this is the reason I'm doing this backwards and forwards is to show you that this is how you could do something now that you couldn't. You could sort of do it in the old YouTube, but it wasn't very easy. On the old YouTube, you couldn't really have multiple streams set up in advance. What you could do, but if they all had the same stream key, like if I set up 4 weeks worth of Warhammer Sunday streams with the same stream key, it would cause a lot of problems. And sometimes just having multiple streams set up in the video manager, in the stream manager, would kind of cause problems. This way, I can have multiple streams scheduled in the same time. Now, I just need to make sure they have different stream keys. I still wouldn't be able to set up like multiple Warhammer Sunday streams in advance. I could do, but I'd have to give them all different stream keys, and there's no point. No point at all. So, we now have a stream set up. We've built the stream, we've got all the tags, we've got the stream key, we've given it a correct stream key. We've set it up in Streamlabs so the stream is ready to go to that. I will just double check, and this is where I'll pixelate stuff out because I need to double check I've got the right stream key before I press any live buttons. I'm going to pixelate this out, so I'm going to do a cut so you don't see this. So 3, 2, 1.
Slap it on.
Back in the room, there you go. I just quickly checked the stream key, but you didn't see that. I'm not giving you my stream keys. Now, this is where it gets interesting. This is another change that's happened. In the old days, like I said before, you would simply press go live in your streaming software and you would go live. You don't do that now. Well, you do, but you do it with something else. What you do is you come to your stream, and this is why I recommend you have some sort of like just like I've got here, this test card, a default in place. If you're like me, you've got like a pre-roll countdown like this. Yeah, you could do that, but I recommend having a static image because you press go live. Yes. Come back to YouTube. If you click on stream health, it will say excellent, unless you've got rubbish broadband. Stream is healthy. It's because it's now getting data. Excellent connection, so you know it's receiving data. It starts here. Press play. So this is just the stream as it is. Now nothing's going out to the public. At this point, nothing is happening. If you just press play in your Streamlabs and start doing streaming, nobody's seeing anything. This is the new bit. You have to come up here to the right and click on go live. This is what you now have to do. So that will kick in. We're live. Now you can go back to Streamlabs, if you've got one, and just start your pre-roll. There we go. So there you go. That should now kick in eventually over there. Some nice music playing, and you've now got people watching your stream. So there you go. Now when it comes to the end of your stream, you have to do the same again the other way around. End stream. End. Go back to streaming software. End stream. End. Now it's at this point that Streamlabs often always crashes as well. So don't keep that in mind. Streamlabs will always crash. It always crashes when 99% of the time. So don't panic. You know what to do by that point. You know how Streamlabs works. So there we go. So there, the stream is finished. I don't know if it makes a difference whether you stop the streaming in Streamlabs first and then on YouTube, or YouTube first and then on stream. I don't know. As far as I know, you have to do it on YouTube first. I don't know why. But there you go. You get some stream information. Done. There we go. You've done your stream. That's how you stream this new setup with Streamlabs. Now, there's one thing left to show you, and that is, what if you want, say I've just done that stream now, and it's the next day, and I want to do another stream, but I want to show or have all the same settings for the stream I did just now. So it's the next day, I want to do another stream with all the same tags and the same privacy and the same stream key, everything else. Dead easy. Come back to your stream tab here. You'll see here, you can create a new live stream or copy a live stream. You've got new stream or copy and create. New stream, everything is blank. If you want to duplicate a stream you've already done with the same thumbnail, title, tags and everything else the same stream key, you can come here. It'll give you a list of all the streams that you've done in the past. Now, it's only showing 2 here because I've only tried 2 through this new stream studio. This is one I did earlier. This is the one I've just done. So if I click on that one and I click on copy and create, because a lot of people are asking what happens when I want to, how do I do my tags and things like that, and what if I want to do the same stream multiple times, and it wasn't clear. And even the FAQ on YouTube's, on Google's how to do this page, which I'll put a link to in the description below, just says use copy and create. It doesn't tell you how to do that, and at first I couldn't find it. It's only when you've actually streamed something through the studio that it then gives the option. So if you're doing your first ever stream through this and there's no copy and create option, don't panic. It just means there isn't anything for it to say you can copy and create yet. As soon as you've streamed something, it'll give you the option. So if you're setting up your first ever stream through Studio, you'll still have to start from scratch, which is why I said get all your old stream types. If you've got 3 or 4 different types of stream, copy the title, the description text, the tags, and everything else that you can copy, so that when it comes to setting it up here the first time, you can just dump it in and paste it. The second time, you can go back and copy. So it comes back here. We've got the title in already, so it might be part 2, the next day with chips and sausage. We'll do it a private, and we'll reschedule it because I don't want to, remember it's the next day now. I don't want to schedule it for yesterday, so we might select this one for the 30th, and we'll do it at 13:45. Scheduling, you can stream whenever you want. It just means that the people on your channel, when they come to look at it, they can see there is a stream schedule for the 30th of November at 1:45. If you start 20 minutes early, then you start 20 minutes early. And then that is all in there. Everything's in. Save. And there you go. So we've now got another stream set up with the stream settings exactly the same. It's got the same stream key. You can see there. It's got different addresses down here. The tags, if you click up here, and go to you can get there other ways, but this is just a quick way of going to the studio. We've set that up now. It has there. It's got the tags in there already. So there you go. So that is how you would do a stream through the new YouTube Studio, Creator Studio, Live Stream, I don't know what it's called. That's how you do it. Now, there's obviously a lot of different ways you might want to do streams. You might just do one stream all the time. You might do multiple different streams. If you're doing gaming streams, you might have different streams for different games. That's where the multiple different stream keys will come in. So it's basically very, very similar. It's just you can now set up multiple stream keys and have them easily placed in there. You have to press play on both and stop on both. Can't just press play in your streaming software. And there's a little bit of fussing to get around it, and you've got to now flip between Video Manager and everything. It's a bit of a faff. But once you've done a test, once you've done one stream in there, you don't need to come back and start it from scratch every time. So there you go. That is how you do that. I hope that's been helpful. If you have any questions, and I've kind of rattled through it really quick. If you have any questions, do put a question in the comment below. I'll do my best to answer you. I will put in the description a link to the almost helpful guide from Google how to do all this. It's all right. It teaches you stuff, but like I say, it says use this option to do this, but it doesn't tell you where that option is, which is why I wanted to show you that copy and create, because it doesn't explain how it works. It doesn't explain that you have to have a stream here in the live replay done through the studio system for it to then give you that as a thing to copy. So I'll put that in the description. But as always, thank you very much for watching. Take care of yourselves. Put any questions in the comments below. I'll say take care of yourselves. Go make something awesome. Go be awesome. And until next time, adios, amoebas.